What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
What's happening? What's happening? Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people watching.
Alright, I'm Trent, owner of Menace57, the clothing brand.
Alright, Trent, are you from Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'm born and raised from Jacksonville.
Alright. What side of towns have you stayed on?
So, growing up, we moved around a lot. I stayed on every side of town except out east. But, you know, I'm tied in with y'all boys. I know about, you know, a good amount of people from out there. But, yeah, I done stayed on every side of town except out east in Jacksonville.
Alright. Now, I want you to describe the city from your perspective.
So, from my perspective, Jacksonville, I mean, just like, you know, any other city is, you know, a lot of people with talent, a lot of people with ambition, and everybody just kind of is trying to find a way out through different avenues and ways that they can just to try to make it out.
Alright, so describe some of the good and positive things you see happening within the city.
Especially right now, like with the whole climate of how everything is, I see a lot of people as far as like the entrepreneurs kind of stepping it up, showing what they do, not being scared to kind of show off their talents and bring it to the forefront so everybody can see that. And I think that that's a lot of what needs to go on as far as for us to get on as a city, is just people to show their talents and for everybody to support them and come together to support everybody that's trying to do their thing.
So I see you said you stayed on multiple sides of towns in multiple different neighborhoods. Describe how those neighborhoods molded you into the person you are today.
I feel like staying on so many different sides of towns, you get to kind of know a whole bunch of different people and kind of figure out how people are and, you know, how certain people act and kind of adapt to different people that you're around. And I think in the long haul, if you're an entrepreneur or if you know somewhat of a business owner, that's something that you need to kind of be able to talk and be around different people that act differently or maybe from different places than you. So I feel like that's one of the things that helps as an entrepreneur, being able to talk to everybody.
Alright, so basically those neighborhoods molded you to be able to adapt to different situations, no matter what situation.
For sure, be able to adapt no matter who you're around.
We all know that when a black person has something good going for themselves, it was never expected from the general public. Give a few examples of what others expected for you to be in life.
Oh man, like you know, starting out as a kid, I wasn't really as just like ready to do like most people. They come up with a plan, or they want to go to school and graduate and do this. That wasn't really my path. I kind of wanted to do some of everything. I played basketball. I even wanted to rap at one point. Like, really, it was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't really want to do nothing as far as like having a career in a certain field, study. Like some people go to school to be a teacher. Some people go to school to be, you know, a lawyer, anything like that. I didn't really have that type of mindset. I just wanted to be a businessman. I just wanted to own something and own my own business and just be a businessman, because I knew that those were the people that really made all the money. But growing up, a lot of people just, I don't know, I ain't really have too many people that said I was gonna be, you know, like a failure and shit like that. I ain't really have too many people saying that, because I just wasn't really too crazy. But I just always knew that I wanted to have something to do with owning my own business and being a business person.
Alright, so you done gave examples of what you wanted to be in life, and a couple examples of how people perceive you growing up. Now I want you to give the actual facts of and examples of what you became in life.
Yeah, so when I graduated high school, I was 17. My mom was like, you're gonna either go to the military or you're gonna go to college. Neither one of them was on my plan. Like my senior year in high school, neither one of them was on my plan. But I ended up going to Cookman going to college. Bethune-Cookman in Daytona. Graduated from there because I definitely, I didn't want to go into the military, but I ended up going to college. Got out of school. Ended up finding a career in the corporate America, but it's not really my thing. Like, corporate America is not really for me. I just wanted to be my own business, so that's when I started Menace57 while working in the corporate world, and that's how I was able to come out with Menace57. But that was definitely never the path that I wanted to go down as far as going to college. There's nothing wrong with going to college and going into the military, but the older that I get, it just kind of wasn't for me. Granted, I graduated, but it's just kind of, I could have really done without it, honestly.
Everything ain't for everybody, basically.
For sure.
All right, so I was gonna switch gears a little bit, but you kind of already answered that question. So if you can just reiterate it and go into detail a little bit more. So I was finna say, tell us about Menace57. How did you come up with the name and create one of the hottest clothing brands in the city?
I appreciate that. But all right, so I started, actually, I had graduated. It was like 2 years after I graduated. I was working, me and a whole bunch of people I know, we was working at this company, and I had already been like in graphic arts growing up. My stepdad had his own shop, and I used to work there all the time, just after school or whatnot, and I always looked at it as a job, not really looking at it as something that I can turn into my own business and make money off of. But when 2012, my friend that I used to work with, she wanted me to help her start a clothing line because, she just thought she thought I could somewhat dress or whatever the case may be. But, I told her, yeah, I'll do that, I'll help out. And she kind of dropped the ball on it, kind of wasn't really moving, doing it. And by that, she had already triggered something in my head. Like, dang, I already been working with my stepdad for the longest, doing graphic arts. This actually is something that I can do on my own versus waiting on her. So, that whole thing with her never happened. I was supposed to jump on with her and help her start a clothing line. That never happened, so I ended up just doing it on my own. And Menace, that's always like my mom as a kid. My mom kind of always called me that because I would watch that movie Menace to Society like all the time. Like even as a young kid, I would watch that movie all the time. And ended up putting that into my brand name, but I made it stand for something. So Menace actually stands for motivate and encourage new artistic creative expressions. And then I got the 57 because I wanted to make Menace more relatable to me and kind of brand it. And I put 57 on there because it's 5 letters in my first name instead of 7 letters in my last name.
All right, so how does it feel to actually have your name stamped behind the brand and have the whole city of Jacksonville rocking with you? Not only just Jacksonville, out of town people as well.
Nah, that shit feel good. I was just telling somebody the other day, like, when I see somebody like make a post, or like if I see it on their story or something like that, wearing my clothing, like it just make you feel good to see somebody wearing it, see how they put it together, like their vision of it. So it definitely feel good, and just to be, have gone for this long, it being 2020, and I've been doing this since 2012. I just really appreciate everybody who've been rocking with me since day one, and who've been supportive of me since day one. Even people, that have come on recently, I just really appreciate that because, it's a lot of people that don't start businesses because they don't know who is going to be receptive to their brand, or they don't know if people is going to, support them, and that's kind of like a scary thing that they kind of hold back from starting their brand. So I just really appreciate everybody who has been rocking with me and been supporting me and purchasing with me for the longest. I just really appreciate that because without them, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have a brand.
So the other day, not just the other day, recently I've been seeing a lot of people do throwback posts, and it's the throwback Menace, and like from when you first started.
Yeah.
And how do you feel you done came along the way from back when you started to where you are now? How do you feel you progressed?
I definitely feel I done came a long way. Like anybody who done seen like what I was dropping when I first came out compared to like even my first shirt compared to what I'm doing now, it's definitely a big difference. But at the same time, that's what it's all about. Like when you start out doing something, you don't want to stay the same. The whole time you have to show people that you're progressing and that you're doing things to try to progress to get to a certain level that you want to be. So I've definitely seen it myself. I hope people that have been following me since 2012 see progression too.
All right, so the other day I seen you in the post office and you was mailing off 100+ packages.
Yes, sir.
And that was nothing but motivation to me. It wasn't like no hating, no feeling like I need to compete because I have my own clothing brand. It was just simply motivation. So what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself motivated?
That's a good question. Definitely, I appreciate that, bro. One of the things I do to keep myself motivated is honestly, going back to what I was talking about earlier, corporate world ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm in a corporate position and it's definitely good pay or whatever, but honestly, I can't see myself doing that because at the end of the day, I want to have something to pass down to my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't pass down a job that I got at a company to my kids. So one of the biggest things, and that's something that this pandemic really has brought out to me is that that corporate world, not knocking nobody that does it, because it's definitely something that I've been doing forever, and my parents and anybody that's been doing forever. But honestly, me, it's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. I don't fit that description. I don't really, I don't like laughing at people's jokes. It's not funny. That's that corporate world that ain't really for me. So one of the biggest motivators for me is just wanting to be self-sufficient and not having to work in corporate America, being able to have my own business, work my own hours that I want to work, not having to report to someone. And once again, I want to make sure that I make this clear that there's nothing wrong with, working in corporate America. It's just not for everybody. Like we talked about college, it's not for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my biggest motivators, is just want to have my own business, be self-sufficient on my own. Also want to leave something for my kids in case that's something that they choose to have as an option versus if they don't want to go into their own career.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, like to get hungry, and because it's not your scheduled lunchtime, you wrong, like to feel wrong for getting hungry or needing to make a call or using the bathroom too many times. Like, it's not for everybody. Some people thrive in a certain system. Right. Some people work in their own system. Some people create their own system. So I definitely understand your perspective on that. So what's your take on the Black Lives Matter uprising, and what good do you see coming from it for our people?
So my take on it, I feel as though our generation, I feel like we're tired of it. You know what I'm saying? We're tired of the injustice. We're tired of not being treated equal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these jobs that people work on, they're not treated equal on their jobs. I feel like more important than ever this is the time for us to be unified in anything that we're doing. That's why I support anything. I support the protesting. I support the rioting. I support the loot. I support everything. Like whatever we got to do to make our voice be heard and to let them know that we mean business. I feel as though with our black dollar, we need to value our black dollar and who we spend our dollar with more, because our black dollar is the most powerful dollar out there right now, and a lot of people don't understand that. So when we choose to go to these companies that don't care about us or who don't stand with us during these times, then we're just giving them more power, and we shouldn't be doing that. I feel like this is the time that most people need to start putting their dollar in the black businesses, and I feel like we need to make it more known of who our black business owners are in the city so that people can support them.
All right, so you kind of, with every question, you kind of answering the next question for me. Yeah. So the next one was, tell us how you feel we need to start circulating the black dollar within our very own community. That's
crazy. I just made a post about this the other day. I was like, I feel like every city should have like a yellow pages or some type of book out there that lists each black-owned business in every industry, whether it be like a corner store that's black-owned, whether it be a clothing brand, food, any type of hair salon, anything that's black owned in any industry, it should be a listing of all of those things so that we can support our own versus, you know, people going to even like food places, people going to Chick-fil-A or the whole Starbucks situation. Like, I'm sure it's black owned coffee shops that people can go to versus us giving them our dollar when they clearly don't care about black lives. So I just feel like that'll help in regards to everybody circulating and recycling that black dollar to people that we need to be giving it to.
All right, so staying on topic of the black dollar, I feel like some people feel like if you are not financially supporting the business, that means you are not really supporting. What are some ways other than financially that you can actually support a black business?
Man, just word of mouth. Like, it don't cost nothing to repost somebody item that they just dropped, or, you know, just telling that your experience with them, or, you know, if you just know somebody that has a business, just you know, sharing it, word of mouth. There's plenty of different ways that you don't necessarily have to shop with that person, that you can still support them. You know, if they have little events, you can come to the little events just to show support, whatever. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're gonna end on this one right here. So with everything going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, what do you feel like we as blacks need to do? What's the biggest thing that we need to do right now?
I just feel like educating ourselves. I feel like we got to educate ourselves with what's going on. We got to educate ourselves with how much our dollar is valued in the economy, and we just have to support each other. That's one of the biggest things that we can do right now as a people, is just be in support of one another and make sure that we're doing everything that we can to open up everyone's eyes and to make sure that our voice is heard.
All right, so I actually want to add another question, because you hit a very important topic with to educate ourselves. So me personally, I feel like between 90 and 95% of everything we know is something somebody told us.
Right.
And if 95% of something someone told us came from someone who didn't care nothing about us, a lot of that is not correct or helpful information.
Right.
So what are some ways that you feel like we can educate ourselves?
Reading, man. Like, I always heard, if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, that's not one of the things that we do as often as we should. You know what I'm saying? Not saying everybody, but, you know, just some people. But I feel like we got to start reading more. I'm a victim of it myself. I don't read as much as I should, but I feel like, you know, that knowledge. Now, I don't watch the news, honestly. I just because I feel like, you know, they'll feed you anything. And I feel like if you go search that knowledge, whether it be in a book or any type of avenue that you can to get that knowledge, I feel like that's what you should do. That's how we can do it.
All right, yeah, and then definitely with the media situation, I knew a lot about it, but recently I just found out like how many of the news stations and media outlets are owned by one person.
Right.
Like, and it was a dude, he was on Facebook the other day, he made a post, and there was like 15 different news channels, and he made a post with all of them saying the same exact thing.
I seen it.
And it's just crazy that you mentioned that. Yeah, and that's definitely.
They know what they feeding you. They all gather the same stuff up to feed you the same bullshit, man. Like, I don't go for that.
Well, I definitely appreciate the exclusive interview.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you,
Thank
bro.
you, my brother.
Like what you doing.